fellow adventurers. We got the KLR out today. It's been a good minute since we were able to do a follow-up on everything. I've actually not put any miles on the bike almost since the last video, and that's been weeks. Ran into a couple issues. So in the last video, I had that hard start issue where it took several bumps of the starter to get her to run, and so I reached out to JD Jetting, and they've been great. I do have a couple complaints. They make a good product, I think, but I tell you what, as far as trying to, it was funny because getting them on the phone and talking before I bought it was actually, it seemed pretty easy. And he was quick to answer, had information, and I was like, cool, this is great. I understand companies get busy and they have stuff going on and whatnot, but after I had troubles with it, I used their contact form a couple times online and never got a response, trying to, mention the starting issues. And if I might add, didn't have issues prior to putting the fuel controller on. It started fine even after the fuel pump recall. Never had any issues. This spot right here is terrible. Barrow County needs to put a roundabout here. Anyway, so finally got a hold of him, and he said on the phone just to call or to ship the unit back so they could try. So I typed up the little thing, mentioned the issues, copied the YouTube video that I made in, and so showed it. Anyway, didn't hear anything back from him for a little while, so I reached out to him, tried to call numerous times, and to no avail. I mean, two, sometimes three times a day, just trying to buzz in, and we're on a different time zone. I think they're 3 hours behind us, but couldn't get any information. So tried the contact form. Finally, I saw at the bottom email tech@jdjetting.com. So I emailed, and it took him a day to respond, which was fine. He said that he had the unit, couldn't get it to replicate the issues on their bike, I guess, and he mentioned that it could just be the nature of the bike, which is an interesting way to find a solution. I mean, granted, he's not here to look at mine and so on and so forth, but nonetheless, the bike starts great without the tuner, and I'm actually riding it now without it, right? So because I just wanted to go out for the day. I've not been able to ride in a while. I had a lot of stressful things go on, and it's just been taking all my time. So I'm trying to get back into a regimen of mountain biking and motorcycles, and it's just trying to find those avenues of relief, because it's just, life is stressful, I tell you. So anyway, finally, after going back and forth with him, I told him, I said, look, didn't have issues before, and after I removed it, didn't have issues. It was only during. So they said they're sending out a new unit, so I should, I guess, be getting that anytime here soon. Anyway, oh, sorry, I had to yawn. Anyway, so hopefully I'm able to get the thing figured out. I actually put a quiet core little insert inside the pipe just to mellow it out. It's still got a good little thump to it, but it's like a good balance between like the intake sound and the exhaust sound. So without it being just ungodly. I forget Amazon gets to do what they want. They don't have to respect laws and roads. And anyway, so we'll see. Like I said, I'm riding it today without it. I just need to get up and go cruise around for a little bit, enjoy the weather, enjoy the mountains, and just try to relax. So but today I wanted to make a video on just how well this bike actually handles. It's interesting, right? When I go and talk to folks, they're like, oh, it's got a 130 tire on the back and like a 90 on the front, and you see guys online who are talking about the handling and everything of this bike being a bit poor, and blaming it on tires and stuff. So I'm gonna go take it to the mountains and try to do a good video. Hopefully there's some folks up there riding, and just show you that it's rider mod, right? It's not necessarily the bike. I've got the factory tires on this thing still, and it is what it is. They're not great, and they're not gonna do a track day or anything on them, but it's still a sporty bike. It's not a sport bike. It can be a sporty bike, and it's like I said, plenty of torque. It doesn't make a whole lot of torque, but it's plenty for what it is. And so with that being said, I think it'd be a fun little bike, and you'd be surprised how well once you ride for a little while and learn how to maneuver the bike and really give her the onions. It's interesting because you'll realize you're not too far behind other folks up in the hills. So I'm going to go and head up to, we'll go to Blood Mountain and go cruise around. There's a little deer over there eating grass. We'll go to Blood Mountain and go putt around, and I'm not gonna do anything too crazy, but it's a good road to really kind of stretch the agility and nimbleness of a bike. So we'll go up there and see how this thing does, and hopefully show folks that it's really whatever you want it to be. So here on the bottom of Blood Mountain, just need to get around this Buick, and we'll get up and do some fun twisties. I will say, getting here, getting on the highway, passing folks, etc. I definitely have noticed that little bit of extra oomph that I had before missing, because it seems like I'm rolling into the throttle a little bit harder on the interstate to maintain, and passing people. The KLR is not going to pass a bunch of people. This minivan behind me earlier started to let me ease over, gave me the wave to go on, and I'm sitting here thinking, buddy, we're already going 60. It's like I'm kind of pegged here, but because he's being nice, I just kind of I dropped a gear and I didn't disappear, but and eased on past him, so it was kind of him to let me go on by. I wish this Buick in front of me would show the same kindness, but I see a lot of comments. I got some on my video, on other people's video about taking these KLRs on the road and everything. And while they're wonderful commuters, I mean it's my favorite line that I've heard for this bike is it's great at nothing but good at everything. I mean, and that's honest. I mean, it's not going to scare you. I mean, she's just not got that capability of doing so. I mean, it's just it's a good all around. I think this is probably one of the best bikes on the market as a like an affordable bike to get you on two wheels. So it's not going to be something that's crazy to get into. You see some really good deals on Marketplace. I paid $6,500 for mine, And you know, now you can find some that are, I mean, high fives. I mean, for a fuel injected bike, you know, I calculated earlier whenever I filled up, even with the fuel controller and playing around on it, you know, still got right at 51 miles per gallon. You just can't beat that. I mean, it's phenomenal. So and that was with having the fuel control on for the past like tank and a half or so. Yeah, I mean, the bike's fun. It's again, you can feel the suspension is geared towards obviously off-road riding, but you know, just trying to move my weight around on the bike so I can be smooth and get a feel for it. I've not taken this bike in any sort of twisty stuff before by myself. I've had my passenger on before, you know, she's been with me, and you know, so I'm not doing anything crazy. We hit Wolfpin Gap and then started to go on the other side of the mountain, and you know, nothing too crazy. We just cruised around, you know, and I'm not going to push this bike crazy hard. It's just not, it's not the bike for it. But you know, it'll absolutely get you there, and it's fun. I mean, I think you'll be able to get to a point where you should be able to comfortably push this bike. This is one of those things where, like, you know, you'll be able to reach the limit of the bike before you reach, you know, your talent. Like, your talent will have to get there, right? But you know, most people who get on a bike, they'll never push their bike to their full potential. You know, it's like me on my R1s, my MTs, my FZs. I'm sorry, I had the FZ line. I didn't have the newer MT. But it's one of those things where you know, you can get this bike where it should, like peak it, right? And it's just fun. So, you know, it's these are some sweepers that are really fun. It's good to nail these safely, no cars around type of thing, right? You know, police like to sit around here and, you know, come up here and hit these turns and whatnot. It's just so much fun. But the bike, I mean, it feels good just in those little bit of turns back there, cruising around. This is a great spot up here to you've got a good friend of yours or something. Oh man, he cooked his brakes. You got a friend or something, you are about the same, you are, you know, equal pushing. It's fun to come up here with somebody because they'll be right beside you, you know, running. And so you know, it's just a kind of a cool experience. So but you know, it's fun. You know, this bike, again, it's not going to you're not going to beat anybody on it, that's for sure. But you know, you'll have a good time. You know, it's I think it's a great bike. I mean, it's a good bike to get into adventuring with. It's a good bike to commute with. Great price point. I am looking for another bike, not to replace this one. There's just, you know, I just don't think there's anything that can really replace it unless I went to like a GS or a V-Strom or maybe an Africa Twin or Tanneray or something. But you know, it's just one of those things to me where it's like, you know, it's just got a special place. You know, I'm looking for something a little bit quicker just to go to do track days and stuff with, because it's you know, it'd be nice to have something I can go do a track day. I looked at getting some Supermoto wheels and taking this thing to like a little tally. I thought that would just be a kicker, you know, taking this big old pig to Jesus Christ, what is this guy doing? Taking this bike to a little tally and just letting her grunt around, you know. I mean, it's so fun. And then you could get some like actually good sticky rubber for it, you know, and then actually have a blast. I mean, I'm having a blast right now. These are the factory Dunlops, and they're just, you know, they're adequate for what I'm doing, right? I hope this U-Haul is mindful of oh man, see, they just, you know, just come on. I mean, and I can't pass. I mean, I just don't have the ass to do so. And you know, a lot of these people get up here and they drive and just stay in your lane. I mean, you know, if you're going faster than you're comfortable, you need to slow down, really. But you know, it's just unnecessary. But no, the bike feels good. I mean, I'm smiling ear to ear. This is funny. This is not what I expected at all, you know. So it's interesting, this bike, because it seems like I'm an adventure rider, and sometimes I feel like, you know, whenever you see ADV guys, they're like they're a bit more moody to wave and whatnot. So I'm kind of an in-between right now, right? A sport bike doesn't respect me. Harley doesn't like it, but I'll wave at anybody. I don't care. I've owned all sorts of motorbikes. It's just fun to be out on something with two wheels. So, you know, it's fun. But you know, it's funny because you know, you get used to this bike or something. You know, you'll be able to come out here and somebody who's not very experienced on a sport bike, you'll probably be able to stay on them. And so that aspect is, I think, the funniest thing to me, because it's like, you know, it's something that's just not made for this kind of riding, and to use it for that, right? It's just, you know, it's just hilarious to me. So I will say the suspension is soft, but again, it's made to hit a dirt road, right? So, you know, and it doesn't help the fact that I weigh, I don't know, with my gear on, maybe 285, maybe 290 right now. So, you know, she's a bit soft for my flavor. But you know, there's some good support on aftermarket stuff for upgrading the suspension. But you know, some springs, some fluid, and a nice stiffer rear shock would be pretty neat. So I don't know, it's pretty cool. I've got an appreciation for it, that's for sure. I'm gonna try to catch up with some sport bikes and cruise along with them. I think if I tie my balls to my leg, I can probably keep up with some and probably scare myself at the same time with this bike, because, you know, I'm just it's not that I'm not capable, I know I'm gonna kiss something, kiss the ground. So you know, it's just one of those things. But you know, it's funny. I don't care. A bunch of folks up here riding. I'm gonna go up and down just like a regular sport biker would, you know. So we'll go have some fun. Maybe I can get this little DRZ behind me or something to play. So I'm gonna cruise down the mountain and get you guys back when I start hiking back up. This is kind of interesting. I'm still on my way down the mountain. I keep cutting you guys off and bringing it back. I'm sorry. I mean, it's a little bit of a attention disorder. Not thinking that you want to see the ride down. Although I should have, just because watching some of these guys come up the mountain, it's kind of crazy, because it's like, you know, I don't see lights or anything. It's like these guys bring a track bike up here to ride. So it's kind of, which, hey, whatever, right? I mean, never float your boat. Usually right down here is where everybody does their little turnaround, and you know, so I'm gonna try to hook up with some other guys, all these fellers up here riding around, and I'm gonna try to get back and go, and don't mind the KLR, guys. Just 40 horsepower, trying to have fun. That's the cool thing. It's kind of like a stealth bike, right? Like nobody bats an eye. It's like, oh, he's got a storage case on the back. He's not gonna do anything crazy. No, I'm not. You're right. I'm just gonna ride here. The car kind of made me nervous. So, looked like he was almost wanting to come around. But anyway, yeah, no, it's cool because it's like a stealth bike, right? I mean, it's like, oh, he's not gonna go tearing up and down. But little do they know. I'm just out cruising around. Probably look goofy as heck riding this thing like this, but it's fun. You know, it's testing these Dunlops. They're fun. They're fun. They're not a bad tire. I don't know why folks rail on them, because they're really not too bad. I've gone off-road a handful of times, and they've had great traction even in mud. I mean, you know, I don't know if these guys are doing some crazy stuff, right? But it's like for the off-roading that I've done with her, and it's been muddy. I mean, like right after rain, get marred up in, I don't know, several inches of mud, and it's still, I mean, you know, they're tires. I don't know. It's, you know, it's not an aggressive dirt tire. So, but I just don't know how it would feel like to take this thing off road with something like that, right? I mean, it's just, I don't know, or not off-road, but on-road, you know, something with super big knobbies that I've seen guys put on. I don't know how it feels on the street. I just, you know, I've ridden dirt bikes on the road before, and I've just been like super cautious, because it's like, you know, I'm thinking like the contact patches, you know, it goes from like the size of a credit card to like nickel, you know, I don't know. So you know, if I were to get another set, I think Bridgestone has a nice little mild set of tires, which would be kind of fun to try. It's a little bit more street oriented, which, you know, to have like a 90-10 or something would be pretty neat. So, I mean, these are like a 40-60, 40 off, 60 on, I think, or something. They're not bad. I mean, you know, it's really, again, for what it is, it's not bad at all. I got my knee out like I'm gonna drag, right? Like I've got my leathers on and I'm at the track, but it's just out of habit, you know, trying to push my weight around on the bike and try to get that, you know, a good, nice contact. But it's fun. I mean, this is fun. If you don't think your bike can do it, I mean, you're silly. I mean, you know, these are factory Dunlops, and they're, again, I'm not doing anything crazy. This is like a 130 again rear and 90 front, so it's little tires. But you know, just wanted to see how it does up here, because, you know, the bike I think is just, oh shit, I lost the front right there. Got a little too spicy. Oh man, dove in a little hard, and luckily didn't lose it. You know, but you know, they have limitations, absolutely, right? It's just like, it's funny. You know, I almost buckled the front. Oh geez. You know, but hey, again, it's, you know, it's great at nothing, good at everything, and I think, and hopefully this is a good representation of that, because it's a fun bike, you know, it really is. Again, not many bikes you can go by, fill a tank, and feel confident on a Sunday afternoon, go to the mountains, do everything you need, and then, you know, just go ride around a little more, right? It's just, you know, it's just kind of funny. So I mean, I think that's the coolest part about it. You know, sometimes when you get over here and it's try to be courteous and wave. It's super nice when people do that for you. You know, when you get out here and ride, and it's a late afternoon, and, you know, I'm on my R1 or something, it gets a little sketchy, because you get up here and a little over half a tank has been used, and you know, it gets a little hairy. But, you know, with a tank, it holds like 6 gallons, you know, and 50, if you can average 50, I mean, you're looking 350 miles on a tank. That's all day riding for, you know, $20. So I think that is just phenomenal. You know, I'm used to being tied to a fuel pump, right? You know, the sport bikes and stuff will pass everything but a fuel station, because, you know, you get 90 miles of spirited riding, and then your fuel gauge is flashing at you. So, you know, it's kind of cool to take something like this and then, you know, just play around all day long, and then you know, and come back and then hey, I still have 2 bars left. I don't know, 2 gallons or a gallon. I don't know how. It's 6 bars. I would imagine that it's I don't know. Hopefully a gallon per bar, maybe. I don't know, but yeah, no, I mean, I encourage everybody who has one of these, old or new. I mean, they're essentially the same bike. They just strapped, some new fairings to this and fuel injection. And then, if I'm not mistaken, from like the engine back, it's just the same bike. So, I think that's there's some nostalgia there to that, and I think that's just fascinating. But if someone is looking at buying one of these, I encourage it. Don't go into this thinking, this is a great addition bike, in my opinion. Like, go get your main bike, whatever you want to be. If you prefer something on the sportier side or standard side, or a sport touring side, go get one of those, and then keep the KLR parked next to it, right? And then take the KLR out, because I see quite a few people selling these, and I think it's because they go into a dealership or into a sale thinking, hey, this is going to be able to do it all. It will leave you wanting more. It really will. I mean, like I said, just trying to pass somebody who's letting me around, it's like, I wish the bike just could go ahead a bit more. But it is what it is. I mean, 40 horsepower on a healthy day leaves a lot of want back there. So it's just something to consider. I would say go get you, if you prefer a sportier side of riding, go get you a nice sports standard and hyper naked or something like that. And then you occasionally want to go do an adventure, grab a KLR. It's just money. You can make more. But yeah, I think they're great additional bikes. Like, it's just a soul bike to have. There are plenty of people who do, but you're gonna want more. So wait for these to come down more in price. I mean, the way the market's looking for them, I mean, you should be able to pick a new 22 for almost high 4s. Like I said, I've seen them, some for sale for $5,600, which is like, geez, just a deal. So just something to keep in mind. I'm gonna keep the KLR for a while. I've got a good buddy of mine who's got one. He's got the first gen, I think, and we've gone off-roading a bit with it, and hopefully he gets healed up, and bless him, he's had to go through some stressful things too. So hopefully he gets to the point where he can get back out and we can go hitting some forest trails. Because that's where this bike shines. It really does. I mean, it shines everywhere, right? I mean, it's not a bright light. It's a dim light, but it'll shine everywhere. So, hopefully he gets back. We can go hit some forestry roads over there in northwest Georgia. There's some great mountain biking trails up over there, and it's they're fun. And then after riding them, it's like, oh my god, the forestry connections over here is just insane, right? It's just top up here. So it's fun. And when we were mountain biking, when we went mountain biking, kind of showed off how many there were, because it was just a ton of just dual sports and adventure bikes riding whenever we cross them. So I don't know where this cop is up here, and so I don't know, I just want to go up there and adventure, and see what the bike can do, because I've taken it off-road again, just some trails through Gwinnett County and whatnot, but to actually do like a long haul to a destination and go actually do miles and miles and miles of trail, I think would just be super fun on this thing. So I think I'm going to turn around and go to Wolfpen Gap. I don't really do Wolfpen all that fast, because it's a tight road, and a lot of people get on there and you come over into your lane and whatnot. So it's just, but it's a good road to, just kind of anyway, you know, the roads are real fun. I'm just not going to take them super hard. They're good on a mini bike, but you know, people get over there and try to rail on the road, and then they'll easily just come into the opposing lane. So it's just good to you know, take it easy and keep your eye out, because you know, accidents happen, right? I just try to not be a part of one. So all my buddies, I guess, head out. I took forever to get up here. I was trying to meet up with them and go ride, but yeah, I'm here super late. But nonetheless, I'm gonna turn around somewhere and go to Wolfpen. But I hope you guys have a wonderful day. I hope, you know, it shows you a little bit more capability of this bike. There's tons of videos of these things off-road, but you know, it's I don't see many people trying to go and, you know, do some, oh, there's a bunch of dual sport guys. That's pretty cool. I don't see a whole lot of people doing some like hard road riding, right? So a bunch of dual sport guys out here riding. That's pretty cool. You know, it's a good place to go ride. But you know, so I want to take the bike for a spin on the road and show everybody the capabilities of the bike, not just off-road but on-road, because it's a good bike. Not a great bike, it's a good bike. So anyway, ride safe, keep wondering, keep KLRing. See ya.